Hello, my UFC fight fans, my mixed martial arts fight fans, my boxing fight fans. Welcome to the Scrap Empire, one of the best mixed martial arts, one of the best mixed martial arts YouTube channels and fight pages in the entire planet. We have coverage going across from heavyweight boxing, lightweight boxing, heavyweight Ultimate Fighter Championship, the heavyweight Ultimate Fighter Championship division, the lightweight Ultimate Fighter Championship division. So many respectable fighters and so many gifted athletes that have been born with freakish genetics to accomplish and thrive in this wonderful sport. Now, I'm sure all of you guys are familiar with the upcoming UFC Vegas 20, UFC Vegas 28. This upcoming June 5th, not this upcoming Saturday, but the following Saturday that's about to pass this week. So I'm sure all of you guys are familiar with the great Jarzinho Rozenstruik. I'm also sure that you guys are familiar with the amazing Agusto Sakai. These two these two heavyweights in the 265-pound division are exceptional, gifted, and talented, especially Agusto Sakai with his physique and the way how he's able to still make a name for himself. He's still able to get the recognition. He's still able to have the acknowledgement from his fans. But one of my favorite fighters in the division is probably Jarzinho Rozenstruik. You know, he has an incredible background. He has an incredible resume, even though even though he fought Francis Ngannou and lost in less than 15 to 20 seconds. The guy still has an incredible resume fighting Junior Dos Santos, fighting All-Star Overeem, fighting Junior Albani. Now, with Jarzinho Rozenstruik, when you watch his fights, especially the fight he had against All-Star Overeem, you'll see his ability to maintain distance, get the designated strikes that he's aiming for, and also he's extremely well coordinated. Just when you look at his aesthetics, like his movement, his lateral movement and his ring awareness is extremely put together. The man knows. He looks like he has an exceptional ring awareness when he's moving around, and you'll be able to tell that he had a trainer that specifically worked on ring awareness, because most of his victories are by knockout. And at one point, there was a there was a time where he had the longest knockout streak in the UFC, not of all time, but in the UFC. So when you saw the first fight against him in All-Star Overeem, right? Of course, when he's on a cage, it takes him a little bit of time to adjust himself on, because his main martial art is kickboxing because it's main martial arts kickboxing. I'm sure that he has some type of ground defense and submission defense, but that's not his expertise in order for him to accomplish the victory. His expertise is standing up, which is why he's a phenomenal striker. Now Sullivan probably got the best out of him during the first round. You know, this also Ring is an exceptional striker, but within the second and third round, all it took was Jarzinho Rozenstruik to keep on focus on every little detail, intangibles and intangibles when it comes to fighting. Because you have to understand, most of the time knockouts, it's not so much that you'll receive the knockout that you're striving for by the force you're exerting towards your opponent when you're hitting a specific target of his face or his body. It's really about timing and accuracy and precision that allows you to get that knockout. So at one point, if you look closely within the fight, at one point it looked like he wasn't going to get the knockout because also Ring was just constantly getting the shots that he wanted to get. But that's what's so beautiful about fighting. That's what's so beautiful about just sports, man. We live in a perception based reality, but when you're at that big stage, you're at that big moment, you have to be able to see and feel beyond what everyone else can see. And even though he lost to Francis Ngannou, some people could say it was from an embarrassing fashion. That form of humiliation grants you the ability to develop more experience, grants you the ability to develop more willpower for the next situation. That situation grants you the ability to work on little details that got you in that humiliated and embarrassing position in the first place. So while he got knocked out within a 15 or 20-second time frame, he'll be able to go back and look at all those little details that he could have worked on so he could have avoided that knockout, so he could have avoided even being in that subservient position in the first place. Because again, sometimes in fighting, you can have your hands up, you can do everything that's right, but power overthrows all of that depending on who you're fighting, right? And that's why you have to learn how to adjust. And there's also a saying, styles make fights. So you have to learn how to adjust at the style at any given moment, regardless of who you're fighting. Now, when they're around the third round, you kept on seeing the composure. You kept on seeing the composure. You kept on seeing the composure, but it was composed and disciplined, which is why I was extremely fascinated, extremely impressed by Jarzinho Rozenstruik, his discipline style. Allowing me to stay focused with getting those headshots because that's a specialty. Maintain the distance with those kicks, kicking the thighs, kicking the leg, kicking the foot if necessary to maintain that distance, even sometimes jabbing. When he gets you, or when he's trying to throw that overhand right, and he gets the shot that he's been seeking throughout all of the 3 or 5 round exhibition, that grants a smile on his face because now you're thinking and feeling beyond what you can see, what everyone else can see. You're not really trying to knock your opponent out to the physical elements of what You see, we have to be able to think beyond what the opponent, your own mind can see at that moment. Now, Augusto Sakai, when he fought uh, Arlie Arosky, I believe that's his name. Stand up is pretty cool. Did an excellent job of staying composed. However, it just wasn't good enough for Arlie Arosky's stand up. I don't think that Arlovsky uh, is a better stand-up fighter than Jarzinho Rozenstruik. I believe that they fought. So for my Scrap Empire fans, please tune in whenever you get a chance to see who won that fight, because I believe that Pavlo Alarski was knocked out. Now, you know, uh, he did a great job of staying disciplined and, you know, being able to stand up and going toe to toe. A guy can go the distance, but how are you going to be able to take those shots and stand up against somebody like Rozenstruik, who hits 5 to 10 times harder than the rest of everyone who you ever fought at. So that's going to be extremely interesting to see. And then when we saw Augusto Sakai fought, when we saw Augusto Sakai face Chase Sherman, Chase Sherman, extremely tough, extremely. You can tell he had the will. He wasn't willing to give up, and he had the heart like no other. But of course, Augusto Sakai was able to get the best out of him during that fight. And, he just showed that he wanted more, of course, and that's what I'm just a little concerned when he fights Jarzinho Rozenstruik. I believe that he's going to get knocked out, or Rozenstruik is going to win by decision. I believe he's going to get knocked out. I don't know how he's going to get knocked out, but I say I'm not determining which round he's getting knocked out. I'm not going to determine which round he gets knocked out, but I see a knockout or TKO. I believe I'm going to see a clean knockout. Who knows, depending on how the fight goes. Only reason why I say that's because Sakai, great, but it's not like that he can allow. I mean, yeah, he's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu artist, but again, this is the same issue we're going to have with Francis Ngannou and Jarzinho Rozenstruik. Rozenstruik experienced kickboxing, had over 70 fights as a kickboxer. Won at least 70 fights as a kickboxer, so he won the majority of his kickboxing matches. He's very experienced and very skilled when it comes to striking. When you have that power like Francis Ngannou has, you're almost unstoppable. And at some cases, people can consider you to even be immortal. So maybe that might be the case with Jarzinho Rozenstruik. He's too powerful, he's too strong, he's too experienced, and I just believe he has too much firepower against Augusto Sakai, unless Augusto Sakai submits him and puts him in a subservient or submissive position with his grappling ability, but I don't really see anything else. So this is my intake on the upcoming fight against Jarzinho Rozenstruik and Augusto Sakai on June 5th, UFC Vegas 28 on ESPN Plus. For all of my fight subscribers, for all of my fight fans, Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Scrap Empire. For any business inquiries, please email the scrapempire1@gmail.com. And also, please follow my Instagram page, the Scrap Empire 1. My Instagram page, the Scrap Empire 1. Please DM me for any questions you have on the content. If you'd like to live streams, we can talk about the current MMA news. Please let me know. And please feel free to email me if you have any MMA content or any streaming or any, business inquiries, streaming, anything, please. I'm so happy I was able to get back to you guys. It's been a long time, but I promise I'm going to be uploading more episodes. So like, comment, subscribe, and I should be seeing you guys very soon. Bye-bye, and have a beautiful evening.